Stop it. I was trying to think of like where to start.
Yeah.
But I fucked up.
Where you picked up from? So
the bush.
The bush. It's natural, apparently.
I can't do this. I'm going home.
Off to a good start.
Fucking horrible start. No, so she was like, bush is natural.
Mm-hmm.
And then I looked at her in the eyes and I was like, well, so shit, but I don't want that between my teeth when I'm fucking eating you out.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Dumb Shit Said Out Loud. We are your co-hosts, Dylan and David.
G'day.
Welcome. What?
I don't want to be here.
You don't want to be here. I know you don't want to be here. You know how I can tell?
How?
You brought sparkling water.
I like it.
I don't give a shit.
It's good.
It's good. Actually, something interesting happened to me on the way to the studio today.
The studio, is that what we're calling it?
That's what we're calling it.
Can we describe what the studio actually is?
It's my room at my dad's house. Humble beginnings.
Humble beginnings. This is
ghetto.
Poor beginnings. I'll tell you what I'm looking at right now.
By how much I spent on all this equipment, don't you dare call it a poor beginning.
We're already falling apart. I'm going home.
I'm coming back next week with a different co-host. Anyway, I was on my way to the studio, my dad's house, and I passed some McDonald's to get here, and these two girls in their teens were sitting in the middle of the sidewalk, a popular sidewalk, just eating their McDonald's.
Were they fat?
Nah, they were skinny. They didn't care. They were sitting right in the middle too, not both side by side on the edge. They were covering the whole footpath.
Sounds like you've got a really good look. I mean, did you?
I'm in a relationship.
Did you pull over?
No. I slowed down, but I...
Oh, shit.
Yeah, that was funny.
Well, I nearly died on the way here.
You nearly died. How'd you nearly die?
To this dingy studio.
My dad's house.
Sitting in this chair hurts. Well, I was riding a motorbike.
A motorbike. What do you ride?
A bike.
For all those motorbike enthusiasts out there, what bike do you ride?
I just ride a push bike. Nothing special. Nothing too mainstream, you know.
Yeah.
Don't really want a motor in it.
Mm-mm. Too dangerous.
No. Nah, I ride a R3 because I'm a bitch.
R3.
Yeah.
Brand?
Yamaha.
So,
we both decided to make a podcast.
Mm-hmm. That's why we're here.
We're two cabinet makers.
Mm-hmm.
And
Preach.
we felt like throughout the week we have so many fucking bullshit stories.
Mm-hmm. Deal with too much to keep it all in.
Dumb shit said out loud.
Here we are.
Literally, and the abbreviation sounds like an STD.
Mm-hmm. DSSOL.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. I have it. You have it.
We've all got it now, boy.
Yeah, everyone listening now has DSSOL.
So we just figured that we'd talk shit.
Mm.
So, welcome, and
goodbye.
We're done.
Yeah, see ya.
Peace.
Later.
Love you. Say hi to your mum for me.
I've actually had a really interesting week this week, in particular, as the podcast was starting.
Why? How so?
I've been in a very impulsive mood. Very impulsive.
Impulsive?
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you about impulsive, mate.
I bet you can.
I've been very angry these past few days. And I am a somewhat angry person.
Somewhat.
But this week has been something else.
You can see the fire in his eyes. He's laughing with a straight face for everybody that's listening.
I'm Asian, so that comment really did hit me. Okay. No, so this week has been somewhat aggravating. When you go for something, right, and you don't end up going for it. Could you say that?
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. I know.
Yeah. Lady troubles are hard.
I don't have those.
You don't have any?
I'm a lady.
Boy.
Yeah.
Thailand.
The hair's long enough.
Oh. Yikes.
Anyway, so what was the tell about the environment. What was there? What was happening? Where were you?
It was just a shisha, and
which is We might have overseas listeners.
It's like the tame Arabic version of a bong
Hmm.
with the devil's lettuce.
Well, I mean, there's not actual devil's lettuce there. Electric lettuce.
The devil's lettuce is
Hmm.
everywhere.
So you're pretty much vaping in a crowd. That's what I
Okay,
enjoy.
don't call it vaping. Okay,
We're
'Cause,
cool.
my hair just turned green for a second there, and
Okay.
chucked up them signs,
Hmm.
But yeah, so a missed opportunity. I don't know how far I want to go with it. I don't even know if I should be telling you this,
Hmm.
to be honest,
Right.
because this is going public,
Hmm.
and it's embarrassing.
I bet.
So yeah, let's not talk about it. Actually,
So next topic.
let's just say that it's a missed opportunity,
Hmm.
and because of that missed opportunity, I'm still kicking myself now, like a
This was Saturday.
Well, don't say that, because today's Wednesday.
Yeah.
That's a very long time to be angry.
David's got lots of time on his hands.
I've got lots of issues. Shit.
Could you imagine if there's like a therapist listening and by the end of the episode they're like prescribing us fucking shit?
Hey man, I'm a fucking second year nearly. I mean,
Almost.
almost.
But you've been there for more than a year.
Yeah, but our work's pretty dodgy.
I was there a year and 7. Not 6, not 8, 7 months.
Years.
Almost. Felt like it.
It
And
does feel like it, eh?
I became a second year last week. My pay went up like $100 a week. Which is alright. It's not terrible. But
What do you get paid? Let's go into your financials. Just give them your fucking bank details now.
I can sum it up in a couple words actually.
Okay. Alright, what are those?
Enough to start a podcast.
Oh, well, looking at the studio, I mean, if you could see what I was looking at, you would realise there is 2 holes in the wall to my right.
Well, one's not punched all the way through. It's like
It's
a half
almost.
wall. It's like a half
Is that
hole.
because of your financial situation, or?
The one that goes all the way through is.
Oh, far out.
Anyway, so is that the end of the story?
Yeah, I didn't really want to go any further with it, to be
That's
honest.
fine.
I just wanted to say the kind of mood I am
Mhm.
in, and I don't really want to be here.
So-
Take me out.
Before we started the podcast,
Mm.
like before we started recording, you were telling me about your boyfriend Mark. Tell us more.
I'm going to tell you this right now.
Yeah.
Alright? You long-haired dyke-looking motherfucker, alright? I'm going to tell you this,
Yep.
okay?
He's a sensual lover.
I'm not gay.
David said no gay jokes on the podcast, but
It's just my lady troubles have been difficult these past few months.
difficult meaning man trouble.
Non-existent.
Oh.
You fuck. You fucking gay fish looking motherfucker.
Hey, yeah, I can't argue with that. So
No.
my week, that's what I started this with. My week has been very interesting.
Interesting.
2 stories come to mind.
What are those?
I think it was Tuesday last week. I was on site with one of our one of our installers. I started freaking out for a second. The computer shut down, and I was like, "Oh fuck, it's all gone."
We're done here,
Yeah,
boys.
this is
I
it.
get to go home.
Yeah, we're going home. David's excited. He
Oh,
saw the
fuck
screen went black, and he almost stood up.
My eyes are lit up. So happy it's been a week.
Anyway, so Tuesday, I was on site, and I was in the car. We were waiting for the client to come home, so we could get let in. And he
Yeah.
goes to me, during our lunch break, "Do you want to get your dick pierced?" And I shit you not.
You better not have turned it down.
I
Is his
didn't.
name Mark?
Yeah, you'd know, wouldn't you?
I got 2.
So I almost went through with it. I almost actually got my dick pierced with 20 seconds of planning.
You really are a gay fucking fish, eh?
Hey. Again.
You plan getting your dick pierced on site.
Not on site. We'd leave the site. Yeah, so we'd leave the site.
Yeah.
And 20 seconds of planning, I was going to get my dick pierced until I sent a message to my girlfriend. And I
How'd
was
that
like,
go?
oh,
Guarantee
swimmingly.
Fucking not well, eh?
I go, "Hey babe,
As you do.
should I get my dick pierced?"
And what did he say?
He
Mark.
tried to get me with that one, didn't he? And then
Almost.
And she goes, no.
Simply no.
Just no. I tried to fight it once. I was like, why not?
She might enjoy it.
Again, no.
Dead set no.
And she's like, you're not being serious. And I was like, full on. I was going to get my dick pierced today. And she was like, go for it. Do it. I knew she was baiting me. Like
That's
didn't-
when you know.
Yeah. She didn't think I'd go through with it.
As
so
soon as they say, oh, go ahead, do it. That's when you know you're in shit.
I started sending pictures of other
Your dick?
people's penises with them pierced, going, should I get that one?
Hold up. You called me gay before, and you're sitting here Googling dicks.
Piercings.
Oh, okay. That's
Yeah,
what I do.
That's fine.
That's what
Anyway,
I do.
spare time. Whenever I get a free minute. Anyway.
Now I know why you make so many toilet trips.
Yeah, all the time. Anyway, and she chose one for me to get, and then she's like, I hope you're actually not going to go get it. I
You
went,
guys picked one out?
Yeah.
Like room paint, you picked out your dick piercing.
that's it.
Like she pointed to it and she was like, that one.
She was like, if anything, it would have been that one.
Yikes. I mean, find a new fucking girlfriend, really.
Well, let's end the story with I didn't get my dick pierced. But
Are you
could've.
sure? Because the way you walked through our studio,
My limp.
you gonna address that limp?
Anyway, yeah. And then the second instance, I have Instagram. I don't use it very often. It took me 20 minutes to figure out how to post a story. And this was Saturday. You remember the story. You voted on it.
Oh, yep.
Yeah. I was looking for the poll option. I went through everywhere. It was the last thing I checked. And I ended up double uploading it.
Old?
I'm getting there.
Do you have wrinkles?
Dude, I'm 18. I don't know how to work my smartphone. And
yeah,
I posted a poll. Should I get a tattoo tomorrow? This was Saturday. I got like 17. I'm so popular. 17 votes for yes, and a whopping 0 votes for no.
You got 17 votes.
For yes.
I haven't talked to that many people all year.
Yeah.
In general. So,
doing pretty well.
Times are tough, eh? I mean, yeah, really tough.
Mm-hmm.
Big time. And I think I'm going to hit a point where I just start doing drugs and getting into fight ways.
Well, that's what the podcast is for.
Yeah,
this will take off and we'll be rich. Then you can buy all the drugs you want.
What about prostitutes?
Well, look, if you're spending
Alleyway.
that much money, you don't call them prostitutes. You call them exotic dancers.
Champagne shower.
The fur coats. Those ones.
Oh, imagine that.
I don't have to. I'm in a relationship. I love you.
And she just wears fur coats around and lets you call her a fucking...
Like I said, I earn a little bit of money now. I can afford the fake fur coats.
Oh, okay.
The nylon, fake wool, all that.
I'm gonna be real.
Mm-hmm.
What am I doing here?
Anyway, I'll end my story. I went to go get my tattoo.
Yep.
And
Oh, you actually got it?
No, I didn't get it. No. Oh, well, thanks for spoiling the fucking story.
Should've been smarter. I fucking...
Fuck. I should have just told you to shut up.
Should have egged it along a little bit, huh?
Mm-hmm. Anyway, all the tattoo shops were closed except for the super dodgy ones. But now that I say it out loud, that would have made for a better story.
That would have made for a way better story.
So I got a dodgy tattoo.
I
It's infected.
I now have Hep C. Oh shit! He dunked it in the toilet water.
Yeah, it was weird.
He said that it was procedure.
Good artist.
Great artist. His stick figure's on point.
Yeah, it was weird when he was licking it.
I thought I'd question it, but nah.
He's a professional.
It's good. Heals the wound faster.
He was telling me about his drug history and...
He's had too many trips to Thailand.
I didn't even decide on what I was going to get. I was going to decide when I got there. And I was going to book it in this week.
It's a fake dick piercing.
I'm going to have to get it, I reckon, next Monday after work. So, another Instagram story coming Sunday night.
Oh, tune in for that one.
Yeah.
3 followers.
I'll let you know. Next podcast.
Next podcast, if we do this again.
If. Yeah.
Um,
David keeps looking at the door.
yeah, oh, trust me, I'm looking for a way out. Any excuse. What else you been up to
This week?
this week? Oh, in general.
In general. Not a whole lot, actually. Not this week. But
Other than your girlfriend, how's your love life?
you say other than my girlfriend, how's my love life?
I know, but now that you mention it,
Look, Mark's doing great.
stop,
Stop asking.
stop asking me.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Oh, actually, that same day, the dick piercing day,
Mm.
we went to 7-Eleven,
Yeah.
and I didn't forget my lunch, but I had a frozen meal then, and there's no microwave on site.
So you ate ice.
Frozen peas, yeah.
You ate ice cubes.
No, I left it at work for the next day. But we went
That's
into
fucking
7-Eleven.
nasty.
The guy I was on site with, he looks at the cashier briefly, less than a second,
Mm.
does his transaction, fucks off. We're sitting in the car,
Yeah.
and he goes, "You should give her my number." And I thought he was,
Out of nowhere.
yeah, I thought he was pulling my leg. I thought he thought I didn't have the balls to do it. And
Mm.
I was like, I got my notepad out, ripped a bit off, got my pen out. I'm like, yeah. And he starts laughing, and he does his little high pitched laugh. He goes, no, actually, it was his it was like that. And he's like, yeah, he starts saying his number out loud.
Yeah.
And I walk into 7-Eleven, word for word. I look this chick in the eye, and I say, "This is my friend's number." I slide it on the desk, and I go, "He seemed to really like you, but he didn't want to come in himself."
He was nervous.
He was nervous, yeah. And then she laughs. She just, it was a cackle.
Like a hyena.
Yeah, she thought it was hilarious.
It the same thing?
Yeah, but female version.
Match made in heaven.
She goes, "Tell your friend that I'm married." And this chick looks like 19. Like, she looks young. Ambiance. That was the birds chirping. Yeah. And she laughs and says, Tell your friend that I'm married." And I was like, "That's gold."
Married.
Yeah, that's perfect. I come back to the car. I instantly start laughing because he's looking at me anxiously, and I'm like, "She's married."
And what did he say?
Anyway, so they had like a microsecond transaction between the two.
Yeah.
And the next day, we go back.
She wasn't married?
The same side. Yeah, I asked her for the number
She
that
got a
time, and
divorce.
she wasn't married anymore. No, he says, "I'm not going in there. I'm not going in there. It's embarrassing." And I'm like, "She won't even remember you. She has no idea who you are."
Yeah.
He's like, "You reckon?" I'm like, "Dead set. If I go in, she'll instantly recognize me because we had an actual real life conversation." And then he's like, "All right, but you're coming in with me." And I was like,
That's even worse.
"Yeah." I'm like, "I don't know why, but I'll come. I think it's hilarious." So,
now she knows it.
yeah. He goes to the counter. She doesn't recognize him. He pays for his... He puts his stuff on the counter, walks away to get something else.
Mm.
And then I walk up to the counter. She looks at me, looks away, darts back. And then she starts giggling, looks over at my friend, nods, and like, "Is that him?"
The realization.
Yeah. And I just nod. I just a quiet little, mm-hmm. And she just starts laughing. She gives it. She belts out a laugh. And anyway, he turns to the counter, and he awkwardly starts laughing. His turned into a
like a nervous little school.
yeah, like a nervous little schoolgirl. And fuck, that was funny. Like, I shouldn't have went in there because, yeah, that fucked him up.
And like straight away, you just know.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of 7-Eleven, fuck, those toilets are nasty.
Sandwiches are good though.
You know where they end up. I'll tell you where they ended up. 2 weeks ago, I walked into one of those, and I'm not kidding. I thought loggers were working in the 7-Eleven.
The what?
Loggers.
Oh.
Chopping down trees. This thing was the size of my leg. I'm telling you. I walked in, it was audible. The person would have known. Yeah, dead set.
Mm.
I was there for petrol. I came out with pink eye. It was so bad. I'm telling you.
Mm.
Nasty shit. Public toilets in general.
Yeah.
Every time I walk into one, I
You
feel
what?
like something's on me.
I reckon every public restroom that isn't in the city, I reckon the girls' restroom is pretty spotless. I've never been in there, but I just have a feeling.
You have a feeling?
I've seen my bathroom, and then I've seen a girl's bathroom, like at their house, and I'm like, wow.
You've been inside a girl's house?
Once. Best time of my
Oh
life.
shit! I need my Tinder game to
Mm.
improve.
Yeah, you should.
I need a Tinder
You
game.
need Tinder. You don't need it, but you should get it.
I definitely need
It'd be
it.
funny. We could bring it to the podcast.
Bring it to the podcast.
Bring
in
it
like
to
a
the-
segment.
Yeah, like David's Tinder in the morning.
And what? Just talk about my exploits.
Yeah, it'd pretty much go like, hey.
I don't know. Yeah, it'd just be silent. There'd be nothing. There'd be no response. I'd be like, hey, and then nothing would. They'd be like, excuse me, I'm married.
Why are you on Tinder? Just making friends.
Just making friends. Here for friends. So you reckon I should bring it to the podcast?
I reckon you should bring it to the
I don't
podcast.
know. It'd be really weird.
Lean into it, man.
Lean into it.
You get some pretty funny people if you lean into it.
Before the podcast, you did say I look pretty fucking cool.
I don't want to talk about that.
Oh, well, let's talk about that, because I'm still living off that high.
I think David and I tend to have a banter that it's sort of like bullying, but we both laugh.
And then we go home and cry.
Yeah, I mean, I cry myself to sleep, but small prices to pay for funny podcast content.
So far, this has not been funny.
I think it's funny.
I'm dying inside. No, it's actually it's our first podcast. We're just testing things
It's a
out. We're trying to get.
We
into
might not even upload it, and if we do, it's just a trailer, really.
Yeah, honestly, like until we get into the groove, it's just it's gonna be a bit
Off.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree.
But we'll get in the groove because I don't want to be a apprentice all my life.
No, well, the goal is for the podcast, I suppose, to still be two normal people talking about day-to-day stuff, relatable stuff, but have the, the podcaster attitude and performance.
Yeah. So, that's the trailer, I guess. I'm fucking going home.